Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Post Flight. This is going to be a great one. We have a very special guest, somebody who I admire very much, somebody who does an awful lot for a lot of other people, a person who is not only well informed, but is dedicated to truth and telling you the truth each and every day in various ways and making entertainment fun again. Is probably the best way to say it. He is not only a YouTube personality, he is a tipster, a news person, and the proper definition of the word journalist. And without further ado, let me introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, and the voice, WDW Pro. Greetings, Pro. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, my friend.
Happy to be here, and I have to say that intro. I mean, my gosh, they call you Culture Casino for a reason.
Mm.
It was so elating, so uplifting, and yet so relaxing at the same time. What a wonderful start to a show.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm a great admirer of your intro. I wish I could figure out how to make 5 minutes work for me, but I get a little antsy in my pantsy. So,
Well, we go a little bit for the zany stuff on the 5 minute intro that we have, so it's a little
uh,
bit more oddball with the just keep scooping and scooping. And culture, it's been a great, I guess, experience over the past. Has it been a year now
I
of
think
us
so.
collaborating together? And we've had you sort of unofficially become part of the That Park Place family, where we actually share information through back channels that we have, and you've been able to participate in seeing how we source a lot of this stuff and the work that goes on behind the scenes to get those scoops accurately, and the number of people. That's I wish people could understand that when I come out with these scoops and rumors, there's often a dozen people who have been working in the background on this stuff, and it's amazing. And it's been a great joy to work with you on it.
It's been a lot of fun for both of us because I love sourcing stories, especially things that I've been working on for a while. One of the examples was something you and I did this week, following up on a story all the way back in 2017 from Salon, talking about Nancy Headland. I'm sure that'll get. I'm sure she'll be brought up a little bit later in the show, but um, yeah, we've been speculating for many years now. I would say that's 7 years ago, almost coming up on 7 year anniversary of that article dropping. So I'm pretty
A
sure.
shadowy female young
Oh,
assistant. Who could it
eh,
be?
I don't know. She seemed to work there at the right time. Did a lot of things
You
for
know,
one of her buddy-o pals. But anyway, let's not dwell on that because like I said, I imagine that'll come up here in a minute. But no, it's been a great pleasure to work with you. And by the way, Pro, and I don't think the audience knows this because I really haven't talked about it, but today is technically my fourth birthday for
your
YouTube.
fourth birthday on YouTube.
Yeah, my
Well, a
fourth
very
anniversary.
merry
Yeah.
birthday to you. To you.
Yeah, well, tomorrow it'll be my unbirthday. But look, it's wonderful to have you here. I could not. What's interesting is everybody that comes on my show, I already have a wonderful rapport with, a friendship in almost all cases. So,
Except for
um,
that one guy that we won't talk about. Ugh, bad show
uh,
that day. Never mind. No,
yeah,
no, no, no,
yeah,
no. All of them have been great.
yeah, they've
Great.
been great. Yeah, the only person that I'm missing right now that I've asked to come in and hasn't recently. Well, actually, there are a few people outstanding, but we've scheduled in the future. But that would be the fellow that works with you, that Jonas J. Campbell guy.
Jonas J. Campbell, the voice of the nation.
Yeah, he's so busy. That guy. Do you let him breathe? Is that like is it only
It's not
in?
part of the contract, culture.
It's not spark.
Let's not, when there are renegotiations, it's probably something he should consider, but I don't want to give him leverage by suggesting it
Oh.
myself.
Oh, yeah, no, no, you definitely don't wanna do that with an employee. Yeah, you are not human. No, anyway, it's so great that you all are here today, and I think we're gonna have a lovely show as we start to build the audience up, and I know that FNT is not quite over, and I know that their guest really kinda lit the fuse under some people, but I'm glad for those
Who's
of
the
you who
guest over there tonight? Who did they pick up?
a young lady named Baggage Claim.
Baggage claim. Well, that
Yeah,
I can see how if that's the name, it could be an incendiary time over there. Not sure.
uh
Who knows?
oh,
I'm not
no.
familiar with baggage claim.
Oh, no, she's lovely. She's very, very bright,
Isn't
very
she
bright young woman.
lovely? I
Exactly.
won't get you struck tonight. I promise.
Speaking of which, yeah, the lovely Sherry's here, and she says it's a leap year, so technically, happy first birthday, culture. You know what? You're right. Oh my
And
gosh,
remember, folks, if you're pregnant in a leap year, always aim for that leap day because then you only have to buy a present every 4 years.
that poor kid.
Cross your legs if it's close.
Oh, it's terrible, terrible. There's a lot of things you want to cross, but we have a lot of folks out there in the audience. I mean, Humor and Waffles is here, and we've got oldest gamer in the house. We've got just a huge group, and we know this guy. We know this guy.
That's
Uh,
right.
a tipster and a
Often in the chat.
tipsy. That's right. Yeah, and just a friend of all channels, great and small.
Big and small.
Jacob Bauman's in the house. We got just this is lovely. Two scoops, please. Well, there you go. All right, let's get to some things. So this stream has a format we usually try to follow. I have a super chat we're going to do before we get there. We've got the amazing Mexican Iron Man, waiting in the wings in case something happens to you, Pro. Because I know I can just reach out and the the producer of the internet will show up. Mexican
He
Iron.
will come running from the cilantro fields and join straight away to
Indeed.
save the day.
Indeed. Andy
Here I
Masterson.
come to save the. Never mind. I can't get you struck tonight.
Yeah, but your voice is amazing.
Thank you.
Andy Masterson suggests that, man, time your impregnations carefully. Yeah, you probably should. You probably should. Yeah. Apparently, Mike's not a YouTuber.
No, not at all.
Do not
Rabbit
suggest.
chicken farmer.
Don't suggest that. Don't. He gets really cranky. I was going to say testy, but it's a little early in the show.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Mike has the Spidey senses, but it's super chat senses. So if there's a channel out there with 30 chats in the queue, Mike gets a tingle. And it's not a good kind of tingle, let me tell you.
He does. At one point in time, what's so funny is Mike was over on Loki's channel, Loki's Mornings of Mischief.
Yeah.
And he was talking about running George's first live stream and the fact that they had I don't know, some ungodly number.
100, I think.
Yeah.
Did it actually get to 100, Mike? Put a chat on there. Let's see. Did it top 100?
Mikey was. And Jedi Bill says, happy 4th anniversary. Thank you for that, Jedi Bill. Look at all these great beings in the chat. I am so blessed. Well, speaking of being blessed, I did get a super chat, Pro. And I'm sure Mexican Iron Man. Yep, 135 super chats with an unhappy face.
Oh, my gosh. Insanity.
But our good friend Storyman Jack for $5 says, my latest set of stories are doing great. You are an incredible writer, and I love the way you put everything together on YouTube. If you guys are not a subscriber to Storyman Jack's channel, you should be. He's a good friend of mine. And he took a little bit of a break, but he came back with a vengeance, and he is great. He always solicits feedback, so if you listen to something, and you have some ideas about it, send it to him. He's an amazing writer, and he does that in his spare time. So, but keep at it, Jack. We love you. All right, let's get started. Now, here's the simple thing about the show. Everybody knows the format. We always start out with the same 3 questions the first time we have a guest. I'm going to have to come up with another round of questions for people who show up a second or third time around, and that's fine. But I think it's a mechanism for me to ask people questions that they don't normally get asked because, well, that's not what they're talking about that day. So let's start first with the 3 questions.
Now, wait a minute. If we do this,
yeah,
can I ask you 3 questions that you're not anticipating so the audience can know the depths of Culture Casino?
I've never done it that way before. I feel like you should probably find a way to interview me.
Okay, it feels. I don't want to make you feel a little strange. I don't want to get you out of your comfort zone.
Oh, you know what? I'm always comfortable talking about stuff, but
you ask me the 3 questions, and let's see how I perform.
And then maybe we'll solicit you to ask me 3 questions. Speaking of which, is this live? Sends 10 Culture Casino memberships. Oh my goodness! Very, very generous. Thank you for that, my friend.
And is this live? Let me tell you.
Yeah,
just empowering truth tellers on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I mean, investing literally in the truth as best we can do it. Listen, we are not Fauci, all right? We are not the science. We are not the truth, but we're trying to articulate the truth as best we can. And is this live? Thank you for all the help that you give to all these channels.
Yeah. And while we're at the great amount of thanks that we have to give, especially for Is This Live, who's now gifted memberships on both of my live streams today. Thank you, my friend. In fact, I think that's 15 in all, but we also have a great number of people to thank on our streams. I know that Pro does this regularly. I need to be more aggressive about doing it, saying thank you to all my moderators out there, because I couldn't do this without all of you. And you're very special people. You give away your time and efforts to make sure that everybody's channel stays above board and isn't challenged because somebody says something ridiculous in the chat.
Well, watch this. All of you wrenches out there, raise your wrenches up in the air, and a virtual high five to all of you. Thank you, wrenches.
Thank you, wrenches. And really quickly, we have Sean Stackhouse, who has been a member for 2 months and is a wonderful friend. Sean, I'm glad you're back. And he says, Mr. Casino, good evening, sir. Well, good evening to you, Sean. Thanks for being back here. I missed you. Wonder where you went. The very talented Chris Persa is in the house. 91 watching. That's right. Let's love on that like button and let's share the dream. Share the stream. Well, let's get to those 3 questions. Here we go, Pro.
I'm ready.
I was wondering
A
what it was
dark
doing.
and stormy
It
flight, folks.
it
Turbulence ahead.
I think it's like, "Hey, we're gonna make this show really quiet, okay?" I was like,
ASMR.
"No. No, I
We could do
don't
the
think."
NPR thing. We could crank the gain up as high as we possibly
And
can
then
and be
whis
fine
and then whisper into the microphone. Yeah.
about sweaty,
Sweaty.
neckline, sweaty,
Yeah.
very
Sweaty
sweaty,
sweaty balls. Anyway,
sweaty
sorry.
balls.
All right, real
And then
quickly, yeah,
we'll talk
you know
about
what?
muffins.
I'm not quite as retentive as our good friend, Jonas. So you can skate up to the edge. You can't go over the edge.
I'm gonna tell him that he is no longer, retentive any longer and see what he says about it.
Don't do that. All right, really quickly, we'll start here. You guys ready? And I have the chat up out here so you can see it, pro. It's right in front of you, so can't miss what these folks are
I've
saying
got it
behind.
spotted. And, culture, you won't
Yeah.
believe this.
Hmm.
In my, monitor to my left, I actually have the entire feed full screened with the comments as they're coming by, so
So you're like
yeah, here at the
me.
control panel, ready
Yeah,
to roll.
you're like me. You keep it all up there. Oh, Sean asked a good question because we were talking about it before the show, and even while the show was running. What we're currently using is a new streaming program that's called EVMux, EVMUX, and you can control this layout. It's fully customizable, including what you're looking at now and all the different things that you'll see throughout the show. It is like having OBS mixed with StreamYard at the same time, and it's all on the browser. So outside of using a tremendous amount of internet bandwidth, it is perfectly lovely to use. So there you are. Anyway, back to the question, Pro. Are you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready.
First question, my friend, and this is a good one. What is your favorite television show?
Well, I'm so, knowledgeable when it comes to my favorite TV shows that I'm gonna give you my top 3 in
Okay.
honor of these 3 questions,
All right.
in no particular order.
Okay.
Depending on my mood, I would say The Office, and I love the American version of The Office, specifically the first 4 seasons, to such a
Hmm.
degree that I don't watch it anymore.
Really?
And folks out there might say, "Well, what are you talking about? You don't watch your favorite show." I love it so much, and it reminds me of such a happy time in my life that I don't wanna go back to it and touch it because it's kind of crystallized in my mind. Now, if it's on, I'll get sucked in for a few minutes or whatever, but I don't search it out because, I loved it so much I can't go back to what that time was. Now,
Oh,
I don't wanna suggest that life is poor right now. I'm having the time of my life,
right.
but there are some great memories attached to that, and so also, now this is kind of the same way, and I bet some people out in the audience are gonna feel the same on this. I love The Price is Right, and specifically, I love old reruns of Bob Barker and The Price is Right because it reminds me of times in my childhood with my grandmother waiting to see if either the mountain climber or Plinko would come up,
Oh
and,
yeah.
listening to Rod Rodney call out, "Come on down," and so I love and also, you have to say too that Bob Barker is literally the greatest uh, game show host of all times. Alex
More.
Trebek up there, Regis Philbin up there. No offense to
Yeah.
Pat Sajak, but Bob Barker is a master
Eh,
at the art.
I mean, and Richard Dawson was pretty cool too, but yeah,
He got a lot of smooches. You got to say that
that's right.
for him.
Hey, look,
Didn't neuter so much like Bob, but he got the kisses in.
hey, and
And
Plinko was great, but I still like the little mountain climbing guy. Oh no
yeah,
no
well, you
no
get the
no no
yodel.
no. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
love
And
that.
in terms of okay, so I don't like every episode of the show. There are times when I feel like they've missed the mark. But when they hit their highs, it's some of the best ever, and that's South Park. The
Oh yeah,
best episodes of South Park I'll put up against anything comedy-wise out there.
yeah. That is
That
that's
would be
true.
my 3 that I would go to. Very different if I just listed off 3 sitcoms, 3 random sitcoms, then you might say, "Oh, come on, Pro, you're just long-winded." But every one of those is totally different.
It's true. I have to tell you that South Park is one of those that has just managed to hang in there for its entire run, whereas I think Simpsons has ebbed and flowed. Not sure if you would agree, but
Yeah, and The Simpsons, the problem with The Simpsons is that it hits its stride at about season 3,
yeah,
and you've still got what 27 more seasons to go. I'm sure we're up to like 35 now, but
yeah.
I love the characters of the Simpsons. I hate where the Simpsons is right now, and it's extremely derivative, and it's also chasing after the woke stuff, and I despise what the Simpsons has become. It's not edgy at all. It's utterly corporate. It's utterly sterile. Futurama, I love Futurama. It's not in my top. It might be my top 10. It's not in my top 3, but Futurama, I love it. It didn't do the same thing, so I don't know what happened to Matt Groening when Disney bought The Simpsons, but oh my gosh, it's terrible today. Absolutely.
I think you lose a certain amount of creative control when you sell your babies off. I that's why I just
That's what Michael Scott found with Scott's Tots.
yeah, it just feels wrong when you do
Now,
when you
Culture, it's time for
sell
your
it off.
question. Are you ready?
Oh, go ahead.
You have
Go
no
ahead.
idea what I'm going to ask you. Are you ready for this one?
It's fine.
I'm going to pull a Lorena Creole on you right now, okay? Because
Okay.
when I went on her show, she asked me this, so maybe you'll already have the answer. I was not ready when she asked it.
Okay.
Culture. Going back to your childhood,
Hmm.
what was your favorite school cafeteria food?
Oh wow. Believe it or not, the we had really good school pizza.
Are we talking
Um,
rectangle? Are we talking about the traditional slice or the
no.
octagon?
No, it was the squares. So I had a square pizza. They would serve it in squares, and there was something about the pepperoni that is so distinctive. You can never find it again. But instead of it being like a nice slice, a round slice of pepperoni, it was cubed
Oh,
like a tomato. It was very strange. You know how you would dice or cube a tomato. Very strange stuff.
but that took you
Um,
back, didn't it?
it did, yeah, and I
Had
can
not thought of
smell it
those
now.
square pizzas in a while.
So, and that's something I was talking about this on a stream. I know a lot of esoteric garbage, but you know what? One of the keys is, and I think it was your show that I mentioned this on, or maybe one of the videos we were on. That one of the or the greatest activators of your memory is your smell, sense of
Yes,
smell, your
yes.
olfactory sense, because it's very closely located to the hippocampus and everything else. So it's something that triggers memory, and if you have that moment where you smell something from your past when you were young, maybe it brings up a good memory of like in your grandmother's kitchen or something. Your memory will light up like a Christmas tree and you will remember every nuanced detail of those moments. That's why it's really cool if you need to remember something is to associate it with something else that just is so clear in your mind. It'll help you remember the thing that maybe wouldn't be otherwise. So
That's
I
right. People are getting very creative right now as they think about what they need to do the next time they're cramming for a big final or something. They're like, "Oh man, as I study, I'm going to spray spearmint up my nose." No, folks, no, that's not what we're saying. Leave the pine needles alone.
There we go. All right, we got super chats and super stickers coming up, and obviously some people. Our friend Scott Westbrook gifted some memberships, which we'll get to in a moment. And thank you for everybody gifting memberships. You guys are the best. But we need to get to the second question, bro. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Thanks for bringing me back to my childhood. That was great. Um, what film is your go-to when you're homesick? What's your comfort film?
Well, it would be easy to say Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That's a fun one.
Oh, it's a good
It would
one.
be easy to name off some fun CGI films that just make you feel good. But I
Right.
got to say that the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is just a fun, feel good kind of movie for me. I love that one. I think it's great. And so if that's on while I'm sick, it's a good time.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that it's always going to land different for me depending upon what my need is at the moment. And I always tell people, I mean, if I can watch any Star Wars film, it's a comfort film.
Yeah.
Raiders of any of the Indiana Jones trilogy, any of the Indiana Jones trilogy. That
And I like
that'll.
Temple of Doom. I think Temple of Doom
I think it
is
gets a lot of.
tied for me with Last Crusade. I love it.
I think it gets a lot of guff for no reason, but
It's a
a
little
lot.
scary
Maybe, but
if you're a kid, you know. Oh,
Alderaan
wait a minute. The
Saloon.
Princess Bride. Yeah, that might go up higher now for me. I don't know. I'm
See,
still sticking with Leo and the gang, but Princess
uh,
Bride is great.
there you go. Yeah. So look, see, this is why I love this question because I get answers every week, and sometimes people change their answers and they don't think
Reese
I'm
is the
paying
word.
attention. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Culture, your question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Which arcade machine has the most quarters out of you?
Oh, the one
Which
that's in
arcade
my
machine
the
took the
the
most
full
of your quarters?
the full size 80s arcade game that's actually in my garage right now. I need to restore it. I'm not kidding. It's in one of the garages, it's in the single bay garage.
Is it
But
plugged
anyway,
in or is it not? Is it in storage
oh,
or is
no,
it
no,
plugged into the
it needs
garage?
to be restored, but the ROMs are in good shape, the board's in good shape, I got some lights to replace, I gotta repaint it. If I can find new stickers, I'm gonna put them on there, but it's the arcade version from the '80s, is Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun.
Yeah.
Tell the folks out there what it is.
Tutankhamun is a video game that you go around and kind of do an exploring of an Egyptian Egyptian burial area. I don't know if it was specifically the pyramid, but it was a lot of fun, and you kind of battled your way through all of the levels. And again, I guess
Who's the
that
developer on that one?
oh my gosh, I don't remember. Why did you do that?
Is it
I
Capcom? Is it
no no I thought I want to say Konami, but I could be wrong.
how do we
Uh,
spell this? We got to find this out.
Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun. Um, yeah, it was. Oh, wow, Pro, you're taking me back to my childhood. I think Asteroids would be a close second, but once I got the Atari, I didn't need the. I didn't need to spend. I didn't need to spend the money on it. Uh, yeah, Tutankhamun arcade game. Yeah, it was. I looked it up. Konami, I was right. Hey. Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that game. It says it right down at the bottom, and if you left your CRT plugged in too long without it doing a regular attract mode, you'd end up with it burning in at the bottom of the screen. Anyway, man, and I love building arcade cabinets. And now that you can still do MAME arcade cabinets, but you can do them even easier now with all the little microcomputers that we have nowadays. But anyway, that's just silly. All right, thanks, Pro. All right, well, one more question, my friend, and then will move into some more seriouser things. Seriouser, yeah, seriouser things. All right, this is a weird question, and I may have to explain it. Not a lot of people get it, but we'll do it. What was your best film experience? Not your favorite film, not your best film, but the best film experience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you. I think I can tell you my worst.
All right.
I'm trying to scan my brain if there's a worse experience than Stuart Little.
Oh, that was not. No, that's okay. Maybe you don't like the film, but I'm
No, no,
talking
no.
about.
That is
Oh.
one of the worst dates I ever
Oh.
had in my life. There is a worse date, but that was a bad one because I didn't want to go on the date with the young lady.
Oh
I
no.
was guilted into it, and
Oh no.
then she also brought her very young cousin, like very young, like 4 years old, 3 years old, somewhere in that vicinity, uh, which made it even more awkward. And then she continued to try to hold my hand no matter what I did, and she had
Oh.
sweaty hands. She had
Oh.
sweaty hands.
She was
Um,
she was nervous, Pro. She was with a handsome young man that
well,
was very
after the
kind.
seventh attempt, when I'm swatting away, it's like, please leave my hand alone. I beg of you. So,
So
and
what
you
you
don't want to
were
give false hope.
so you
So
were
Stuart
what,
Little
20,
worst.
23, 24?
I don't want to give away my age, but old enough to go on a date, but and old enough to go on my own. But I'll say this for the best. I think okay. I'm going to change my mind. Okay, so my favorite movie, my favorite modern movie of all time, is Bridge of Spies.
Oh, wow.
However, you've asked now. You've changed it up. That was going to be my answer, but you said what is my favorite movie experience?
No, actually,
So
I asked you what is yeah, that's
yep.
exactly right, your favorite. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the best movie experience I ever had
Uh-huh.
was when I found out what was in Up, the Disney
Oh,
movie, right?
yeah.
Um, I got a hold of a large number of older people and invited them to go and took them to the theater to go see Up. And I probably filled almost an entire row with older people that don't typically go to the movies, but I thought this would be poignant to them, and it
Right.
was.
Oh, wow.
And that's probably, looking back, that's probably my favorite experience. No, culture. Okay, that is still my favorite, but I'll give you another one.
Oh,
This is such a fun story.
it
This is
is.
such a fun story. Okay, so the second most fun I've ever had. I haven't thought about this in a while. The last Harry Potter film. I
Uh-huh.
did not care about the Harry Potter films very much, right?
Mm.
I was at an upscale sushi restaurant, and I was talking with the waiter, and he wanted to go see the Harry Potter film, but he always worked and he wasn't going to go see it, and his English was limited. And the other and so what that meant, by the way, is that it was difficult for him and for his friends to go to the theater because they didn't know the system, right? They were all from Hong Kong. They
Oh,
were
wow.
essentially they thought that China was going to take over Hong Kong, and so and they were right. And so they had all fled Hong Kong and come to America, but they didn't speak great English.
Right.
Well, so myself and a friend, when he said that and this guy's so nice, but when he said that he wanted to go see the Harry Potter film
Mhm.
and explain the situation, we said, well, listen, there's a preview at midnight. You'll be off work at 11. We'll take you. And he was like, are you serious? Well, culture that turned into, he went back to back to the kitchen. We ended up, culture, taking the entire restaurant staff
Oh, wow.
to go see Harry Potter at midnight, and my
Wow.
friend even wound up driving their van with all of them in there, taking them over to go watch Harry Potter. That was because that was not anticipated, but it made their day, and they were so happy, and it helped them feel like they were truly a part of society instead of being locked out of it, and being ostracized. Now they were a part of it, and that gosh, that was wonderful.
That's a great story, pro.
Oh, it was
Way to
fun.
go. Oh,
Oh, that
man.
was fun.
Yeah.
But still
Wow.
more important was the was going to see Up
Up.
and
Yeah, with
the impact it had on those people, many of whom, by the way, many of whom, most of whom have moved on out of
mm,
this mortal
out of this.
strain. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
they've shaken off this dusky coil.
that's right.
Yeah,
Higher ground.
that's right, indeed, much higher. Wow, pro, well, thank you. Your stories are electric, my friend, very inspiring,
Well,
and,
those are fun. I'm telling you, way
you
more
know what?
fun than Stuart Little. And I'm trying to think the
That
worst
poor
movies.
girl, I hope she's not watching us right now.
I doubt it, but
Yeah.
uh, I hated Artificial Intelligence. I thought that was a terrible movie. You remember that one?
Yes,
Remember the Steven Spielberg film? I hated that movie. I
it's a
just
bad movie,
despised it.
bad movie.
Um, what other movies have been? I'm trying to think of movies that I actually left. There are a few. I can't think of them now. Okay,
Um,
Culture, it's your turn though. You've got to answer
oh,
this question.
alright, okay,
Now
alright,
we've gone so far over. I don't want to cut out of your show, so I'm going to make this easy.
that's
Okay.
fine, that's fine.
What is the Culture Casino candy bar?
Oh, wow, that's almost impossible. Hmm,
You're on an island. The
I don't
plane is
need oh,
flying over you. They
okay.
say, "We're not going to rescue you, but we will drop one candy bar of your choice, sir."
This is not a nice rescue. Um, well, here's first and foremost, it's gonna melt real fast, but no, on I don't know. Eh, I don't eat a lot of sweets. Let's start there. Sweets are
Yep.
not my thing. So when I have a candy bar, it's got to be something perfect. There's a decent chance it has. Oh gosh, it's not. That's not even a candy bar.
Listen,
Because
candy of any sort. So if you want to say
oh, peppermint
dark
bark,
chocolate covered espresso.
peppermint bark.
Oh,
I
that's
th-
good
I
stuff.
think
Yeah.
I think peppermint bark, and I only allow myself that during the holiday season, and I don't allow myself very much, but I still think that's like the best stuff ever made. Second to my grandma making Naoma bars, which I think we've passed a recipe around recently.
I think so.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, it's
Steve, the
yeah,
puppeteer over at Floral from Under a Rock, started that
yeah,
conversation, and so yeah,
yeah.
that very cool stuff.
Mhm. His recipe differs from my grandma, but it's still wonderful.
I think we're
Yeah.
required now to ask, when will you have the peppermint bark emoji? Because that's not a
Oh,
typical emoji available. I think it
well,
just has to happen.
okay, I'm writing it down, and I'll pass that along to you too.
It's going to be the emoji, by the way, where when people show it, they're going to say, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah, peppermint bark.
Because it's really hard to show. Like it's going to be very difficult to have something that people go, "Oh, peppermint
Yeah,
bark. That's what that is."
yeah. Well, I like I said, I mean, I know I'm weird, but I grew up and I my sweet tooth ended like 12 or 13, and I just
Yeah, I'm not a
wasn't.
sweets guy. Homemade ice cream is the exception because
uh,
homemade ice cream is straight from the devil because
Oh,
it's so good and it's
it's
irresistible.
it's delicious. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
it's unfair. It's
Yeah,
totally unfair. It should not
yeah,
exist because because I can't say no to it.
yeah. All right, very quickly, Pro, that was beautiful. Thank you for answering the 3 questions and posing 3 of your own. I think the audience enjoyed it. But before we move on to the next segment, as the banner is scrolling at the bottom saying, we're gonna say thanks to some folks who gifted us some love during the course of our
You better
conversation.
before Mike starts blowing up both our phones.
That's right. Well, Bishop Judas sent a sleepy face emoji for 99 cents. Thank you for the super sticker. We also got Is This Live asking us a question. Canadian $2 says, Pro is an old softy. Who knew? I I knew he was an old softy. But you know what? Your story about taking the elderly to see up reminded me of the fact that we used to, as a youth group, go and to the retirement homes is what the term I'm going to use now. And
Assisted living, I believe, is
yes,
the
and
terminology they use now.
we would put on a concert of sorts during the holidays and do little skits and stuff like that. One year we took a whole nativity scene to a convalescence home. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. So yeah, wow, people are gonna think we're nice. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, Pro.
Well, don't
People,
worry. There's still plenty of folks over at Hollywood who
oh,
they dislike us. I don't see how it's possible with your beard. I mean, it's really, but
I
somehow they manage it.
yeah, that's fine. You know what, Pro? I'm considering shaving. Believe it or not.
Well, it comes that time for us all. But I'm happy to report that I believe your follicles will continue to put forth
They do.
that which could produce a beard.
My hair's already starting to grow out after the donation. It's out of control too. I was like trying to stuff it under the hat today. But we got Scott Westbrook giving 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that, Scott, and keep up that wonderful photography. I can't wait to see you again. I hopefully I'll get a chance to meet up with you again in Florida. I was hoping to be there this coming meetup, but it just didn't work out. Too much stuff going on at home. The Old Man Cometh is celebrating a 3-month membership. Thanks for being here, my friend. And yes, you've got a stormtrooper on the pod. Says, hello, everybody. Have a great weekend. Well, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful one, too. Terry Scott is in the house celebrating 1 month. Says, hail, CC and Pro. Well, thank you, Terry, and hail, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
We appreciate you. And last but not least, one of the greatest friends we've ever had, Space Dave 2000 for a Canadian $10. Yes, it spends like real money, folks. Says, enjoying convo while cooking dinner. Excelsior, gentlemen. Kit Kat, by the way. Oh, dang. That's a good choice. I like Kit
That's
Kat.
right. Give me a break. Give me a no. Can't strike the channel. Won't do it. That's
Break me
free
off a piece
advertising.
of
Okay.
that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. All right. We got to get to some these are the fun ones. These are the fun ones before we get to the weird I guess technically these are the weird ones before we get to the wackadoodle doo ones. Let's get to odd stories, weird stories. How about that, Pro? You ready?
I'm ready for it.
All right, here we go. All right, before we jump into those, and I take the chat box off the screen right now, let's acknowledge our good friend WG. WG gifted 10 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, my friend WG. WG, I think the people who receive those memberships are going to be thrilled, and I appreciate your support. I can't wait to meet up with you. Hopefully, I get to see you in Texas or Vegas for those meetups. That'll be fantastic, my friend. I am very excited to say that I love meeting all of you guys. But WG, that was a wonderful time we spent in Vegas. I think all the guys think so as well. Thank you for the gift, my friend. All right, let's get to these weird stories. Are you ready, Pro?
I'm ready. I'm
All right.
imagining
So,
you and WG with the Hangover movie somehow. But
it's
continue on, please, please.
quite possibly. Although, you know, what's funny? Most people would figure I'm a big drinker, but while I do enjoy the occasional adult beverage, I don't drive when I don't even, if I think I'm going to drive, I don't drink. So, which is,
Sure, sure.
yeah. So, because I was oftentimes the driver for everybody, carting everybody around in Vegas and other places where I do meetups, I don't get to drink, which is fine because, not a big deal.
I
But,
have to say that for me, uh, I'm I love coffee so much that on. Wait a minute. At first I thought you were pulling up a coffee cup, and I was like, "Oh, come on, seriously?" But it's a mug of tea, I believe.
yeah, no, this is tea. Coffee in the
Yeah.
morning, you know that as when I'm
Well,
there
I've
in the
got coffee
mornings.
still. Coffee
Yeah.
morning, evening, night for me.
Oh,
But
I
I
can't do
love
that.
coffee so much that honestly, I'm just as happy with a latte or a flat white, shaken espresso. Any of that makes my day just as much as anything else. So
I don't need anything fancy. With coffee, it's like just put some cream in there and we're good. Yep.
I'm a coffee man. They
Yeah,
say
okay.
that drinking coffee will make you live longer.
Yeah,
And I think that when I go to give blood, they just actually draw out coffee. So
probably.
I may be eternal at this point. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, okay, so there's some gosh, this is more useless esoteric knowledge. It's something called flavonoids that is in coffee, it's in teas,
I
it's
vote
in
we do a
juice.
1 hour special on whether it's flavonoids or flavonoids,
That's it.
followed up by a 1 hour special on whether it's the duodenum or the duodenum.
I think it's the duodenum, but I could be
I
wrong.
like duodenum because it sounds funnier. So could we drop some flavonoids in the old duodenum, please?
Well, I know this. Chocolate has them in abundance. So if you like dark chocolate specifically,
I do.
which is less calories, by the way, and that is so good for your brain, you can't even imagine.
Ghirardelli
Yep.
dark chocolate, my favorite.
Mm, mm.
Yep.
97% cacao. All
Cacao.
right. Cacao. And now I feel like it's Lightning McQueen. All right, let's get to some of these things. Now, it's a tradition. Wow. Anyway, we get to
Oh, wait a minute. That was better than I do.
don't
That
tell me.
was great.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's do this. It's a tradition for the weird stories. We only have 4 today because I couldn't find a bear story. Bear stories are tradition here on the show. Everybody loves them, but I couldn't find any because they're hibernating right now. By the way.
Darn you
So,
bears. Get out there and
yeah,
do something with your lives.
yeah.
Letting us down, all of
Yeah.
us.
But I let you pick from the headlines. I'm not going to give you the exact headline, but I let you pick from the headlines what story we cover first. You don't get it. The other ones we just cover, but this one you get to pick. So
All right, I'm ready.
here's some headlines. Um, Mother finds snake in underwear drawer. Uh, uh, Deputy rescues kitty in Florida.
Hmm.
A goat on a hot tin roof.
Hmm.
And
I see you've got
meerkat.
in the private chat here that we're not going to do the one about the black Jewish transvestite, so we'll leave that one alone. What's the other one you
Yes,
got, Culture?
yeah, we actually, yeah, we don't cover any of those, but we do cover this one. It's a meerkat drops guard duty.
I'm going to go with the goat on the hot tin roof
All right, well, technically it's
for
not a
500,
all
Alex.
right, technically it's not a hot tin roof, but it is a roof. And we will get there here.
I guess
That
you could
is
say
what we
this
want.
goat's got the shingles.
Oh no! Do we have to?
Goat jokes.
Nah, it's
I'm here all
terrible.
night, folks.
Bad. Okay, anyway. All right.
That was worse. He went there.
All right. All right, let's start here. Pet goat. That's right, a pet goat. Wow, this is terrible.com. Let me see if I can skinny that up. Oops.
Notification engaged.
Oh, I should have already shared this. I'm terrible at
Warrior
doing
2
my
Culture.
yeah.
In your younger days, did you ever play Mech Warrior games on the computer?
Yeah.
There was that calming voice, as you were getting shot by lasers and rockets.
Yeah.
Overheating, overheating,
Yeah.
shutdown, engaged, shutdown, skinification, engaged, stream saved.
I wish. But I know this. A pet goat was rescued from a roof of an Arizona home. This is apparently the Glendale Fire Department, which the fireman there might need to cut down on his police friend's donuts. But as you can see, You can see that goat there
You don't send a
hopping.
lightweight up to bring a goat down off a roof, Culture. You know
Yeah,
that.
but those are tiles. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But no. So in Arizona, fire department said it was a rooftop rodeo when firefighters were called to rescue a pet goat. It found its way onto a roof of a home and became stranded.
Hold
First of
up,
all,
hold up.
how did that happen?
And second of all, I'm feeling that's a little redundant because the assumption should be that if the goat is on the roof, it's stranded, by golly. If the goat is on the roof and he's not stranded, you really got to wonder about the goat's abilities in life because it has mastered physics.
Yeah, I mean, goats do a lot of hopping, so I imagine there was a shed involved. Be
The
my
goat
guess.
was on the roof and was not at all stranded.
Mm,
Onlookers could not believe it.
mm,
He hoofed
But
it on out of
look at
there.
that sunset, right?
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful horizon.
Also, this is every fireman I know. They wear shorts and a jacket when it's cold.
And they look really confused about what they're going to do with a goat on the roof every single time. You can
Well,
see ambiguity on that man's face. He's like,
yeah,
"Not sure
he,
what I do with this. I don't know how to
he
tackle this one."
he is a bit concerned, but I do know this that they said on the Facebook post that the firefighters were called to lend a helping hoof when the adventurous goat. This is terrible, terrible writing. Ended up a little too high up on a home.
Wait
It's
a minute. Is
terrible.
that a weed joke? Are they
I don't know.
insinuating that goats are weed eaters?
They do actually, technically. But anyway, so that's it. That was the total of the story. Was just that they rescued the roof and reunited it. Rescued the roof, rescued the goat, and reunited it with its owner. So I
You
thought
know,
that was fun.
actually, Culture, there I see a monetization opportunity now.
Oh, okay,
You and I, let's start a business together.
okay.
We're just going to strand random animals on roofs around the nation, and we'll just go take photos and do articles on it, and see if we can get it onto streams such as this for trending sake. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I,
think about the opportunities.
I,
PFAL in Tulsa, Oklahoma, on top of condominiums
I,
everywhere.
I think we could. I think we could go viral. Like we could like put a flock of emu
Yes, they
on
can't
somebody's
fly.
house.
It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a flock of seagulls. They can fly. Flock of emu, on the other hand,
That's right.
not so much.
I'm pretty sure that platypi cannot fly.
Pla-
So
platypi. No,
yeah,
I don't
the
think.
platypi when we get a baker's dozen of platypi, we're heading to South Carolina and we're plucking those things down in
Pla-
Charleston somewhere on a rooftop. No,
plat-
wait, we'll go to
oh,
Mike's house.
Mike's house. We're going to Mike's
Yeah,
house.
platypi,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. You know what? It's
Mike
I don't
is
know if
neither rabbit nor chicken. Okay,
I
just
I,
specifying.
I don't know if this is subconscious for you, but as you start to talk about Mike, your voice goes into Alf mode.
Ha! I kill me. It's a
Exactly.
platypus. Ah,
Snort.
hey Willie, it's a
Willie.
duck and a beaver. Ah,
Snort. Our resident polar bear says, "A platypus on your roof would be worth taking a photo of." Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So say we're getting
Mm.
the exotic pet license ready to go right now.
Oh, and you know what? Bonehead's correct. Um, an emu on pizza is greater than pineapple on pizza.
I just want to be there when the South Dakotan is on the news report saying, "I'll be darned if I did not expect to see a walrus on top of my roof this morning. I don't even know how it happened."
That'd be great. Uh, I love it. Ninja Master said WDW Casino or Pro Culture. Either way, sounds like a gaming channel. It's true. If we were to combine our efforts, it would sound like a gaming channel. I want
Instead,
it
we've joined forces to put random animals on
on
rooftops.
roofs.
That's right.
I love it. All right, let's move on. We got
God
another
dang it,
story.
Bobby! Why is a squid on top of our house? Oh, we don't even live near where squids are.
Man, yeah, what a classic show. I can't believe oh gosh, what's his name?
The
Passed
voice
away.
of Dale Gribble. Yeah,
Y-
it's just so sad as they were getting
Uh,
ready to start back up again. He got two episodes in the
oh,
bank before his untimely and I guess his
unscheduled.
surprising
Yeah,
demise. Yeah, sucks. It just sucks.
yeah, very
By the
talented.
way, best Dell episode. What do you think, Culture? I'm gonna say when he had when he had to have his kidney. He was gonna have his kidney removed, but he was gonna force the NASCAR driver that he was donating the kidney to put the dead bug on top of the NASCAR. But some would vote for the rabies episode. where he thinks he has rabies and he goes out into the wild.
I cannot. Don't do that to me. I don't know. Um,
God dang it, Dale.
yeah, Dale was so good. Um, do you think somebody's gonna try to? Well, obviously somebody's gonna try to replace him. I
I
just don't know
think
who you
I
would
think
get.
so. I think there are too many contracts in place. It sucks, and I hope they have a great send off.
He deserves
You
it.
know, yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
There's the one where he's digging the tunnel under Hank's house, where he's digging the bunker. There's the one where
There's
he
the one with the
borrows
tools. There's
Hank's
the one with the
lawnmower.
tools. Yeah, there's the one with the tools that just
Oh yeah,
absolutely
where he
killed
takes
me.
Hank's tools. There's the one
Yeah.
where he convinces Hank to moon the governor of Texas down the elevator. That's a great one.
I still think the tool one's my favorite, but all right. Okay, so next up, Pro. I'm gonna give you a meerkat that walked away from guard duty. I got a better offer
Hmm.
though, I think. You know why? Because a meerkat escapes petting
You know
zoo in
that
England.
that animal has a guilty face. I mean,
I
just
well,
look at that face. He looks like he ripped one and he didn't want to admit it.
I
Wasn't
think
me.
I think he just felt like he would do a better job as a palace guard.
He looks like he's auditioning to be the new YouTube version of that woodchuck where it goes bum bum bum.
Yeah.
He needs a monocle. If he had a monocle, he would be a respectable meerkat.
There you go. Oh, BPST says, "Hi, your beard is a moneymaker." Well, thank you. You can always trim it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It needs a little shape. Um, you can always trim it. 90% of the country would like a beard right now. Yes, they would because it keeps
Mhm.
their face warm.
Beard envy strong right now in this chat, and I can't
True.
blame them. I'm feeling it.
Ah, it's fine. It's fine. Right, Pro. I imagine you with this glorious beard. You could be one of the Duck Dynasty people for all I know.
It's draped down around my knees. It's just extra insulation when I'm wearing shorts outside. It's that long. It's a ZZ Top style beard.
Yeah. Oh, opinion question. I love these for $10 from Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. By the way, the new Garfield that looks interesting to me. I'm going to give
Mhm.
that one a chance. But for $10 says, "What's the worst Disney Plus show thus far? I gave up after Loki." Okay, so right now it's a tie for me, but I want to hear what you have to say first, Pro.
I think. Oh gosh, it's between She-Hulk and Ahsoka. Ahsoka is the worst writing I've ever seen, but She-Hulk was unbearable.
Okay, well, as somebody who just recently saw,
Echo,
yes,
Echo. Some people are telling me that Echo's worse than She-Hulk though.
have you
But I
not
can't.
seen?
I can't. No, I'm not going to do it. That's 5 hours of my life I can't get back.
Oh, it's only 2.5 hours. It's only 2.5.
Yeah, that's still pretty tough to to
I
sacrifice that
can't
much
talk
time.
you into it. I
When people
suffered it.
tell me it's worse than She-Hulk, it's like,
I
I'm not-
suffered it all in one go. But
is it
look, I
so bad that it's fun that it's bad, or is it just so bad that it's nauseatingly bad?
I think it's just disappointing because there
I
was a
gotcha.
lot to work with that they just decided not to even employ. I mean,
Because
it didn't
there's
even.
like Rainbow Bride and the Star Stealer. I think that's what it's called. That 15 minutes in, you realize that it's so bad that it's become some sort of deviant work of art. Uh, but I don't sense that Echo is that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do. I have so much. I have like 6 different colors of beard face. Thank
I'm
you,
going to say She-Hulk.
Yogi.
She-Hulk is my vote.
Okay. So back to that. I will say She-Hulk. She-Hulk may edge it out, but not by much. And I think what's funny is for second place, Echo and Secret Invasion tie for bad.
Yeah, gosh, there's so many options. There are so many options.
But it's like, what's worse? I don't know.
I
Speaking
mean,
of the
Kenobi's
best,
terrible. Boba
speaking of
Fett is
the
terrible.
speaking of the best, Yellow Flash is here. Hi, Yellow Flash.
Hey, Flash.
Hope you're doing good, brother. Good to see you.
That's right. And
Oh, Yellow Flash.
Flashcast coming up soon.
Yeah, that's
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. I love it.
Mhm.
Yellow Flash tomorrow. Check your DMs because I want you to come on this show. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
You do it better than I do. You guys are so practiced at South Park stuff. It's just not fair.
Well,
Yeah.
Shrebels keeps offering us, the opportunity to do that. So all
Shrubbles.
kinds of practice.
Sorry. See, I do that even close to Valiant? Am I,
I think you're pretty good. I have not switched the pitch to see if it works on this. So let me see if I can switch up to Cartman real quick and we'll see.
Hey, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I would just like to say screw you guys. Oh wait, I'm still on the stream.
Well done, bro.
There we go.
I love it. And thank you so much for the super chat, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Hopefully we didn't give you a short shrift there. But let's move on. We got a couple more of these, and then we got to get into the real topics. So
I will say this, Culture, as you go to the next one. So
Yeah.
earlier this week, I was recording with Stuttering Guitars, who, by the way,
Oh, he's great. Holy cow.
I
Very
mean,
talented.
he's got Sly Stallone's brother, Frank Stallone, selling his guitar in a video. I posted on Twitter.
Mhm.
It's incredible. I mean, it's just, you know how cool that is? That's got to be one of the coolest things that you can do in a career is be like, yeah, I designed guitars for Sylvester Stallone's brother. That is so, and they call it the Stallion. That's the name of the guitar. Anyway, but I'm recording with SG. I forgot that in my last stream, I had needed to record as Butters. So I still had my pitch set to Butters level.
The Butters.
Yeah, so I switched. So I started playing back, getting ready to do the post production on the video, and I talked to SG later. I was like, "Why didn't you tell me? It sounds like I sucked helium." And he said, "I just thought it was my device."
Oh no.
Oh man,
no.
when I heard that chipmunk sound, I was like, "Oh no!" Post production just went through the roof now.
Oh, that's so great. I love it. Here's a quick story. Here's a quick story. So I recorded a full interview. I think it was like almost 2 hours long with Pops. You know who Pops is.
Yeah.
And he went to download it after we were done, and it was gone.
Oh no.
We know we recorded it because the little red light was on in StreamYard, but it was nowhere.
It didn't process then. It just
I don't know when
it hung out in the nether realm.
Yeah, and so he's
Yeah.
like, we can never repeat that again. I'm like, I wouldn't even try. Just let's let a little bit of time pass, and then call me up and we'll do it again. So
But you can't replicate it. It's like a great joke that happens in spontaneity.
Yeah, okay.
You
So
can't repeat it.
the best live stream I was ever on was one with everybody. I mean, Drinker and Az and everybody else, and it was after another stream that had gotten held over. I think it was on Midnight's Edge, and that stream, the stream that was after the stream before we went and did another stream on somebody else's channel for fun because we were on a roll. Nobody was going to bed, and that was the best stream I'd ever done, and there was nobody to hear it, see it. It'll never be out there in the world. It was incredible.
It sounds like a Tenacious D story. I'm not sure about this one.
It was true. It's true. You can ask Tom about it. I mean, all of us were there.
Greatest song in the world.
It was. It was really a bummer
I love
too.
that song, by the way.
Yeah.
Meta humor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jack Black. Let me
What
tell
made
you.
it so great though? What made the stream so great?
Just the fact that we literally were saving the world from, at least in the pop culture realm. You couldn't believe it. The ideas were flowing. People's analysis was spot on. And it's a natural flow. I mean, sometimes you know this when you're live streaming, there's a natural flow to a conversation. You have an incredible audience. They're contributing the whole time, but we didn't even have the audience at that point. And people were coming in and going out, and we kept some people up past their bedtime, and some other people woke up and joined us. And then we went on another channel, and it kind of continued on, but it wasn't, I mean, all that, it was 45 minutes to an hour of just
Of everybody in unison, and like an orchestra
it was
of
amazing.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. And our good friend Lil Chad, who's been a member here for 9 months and is a great friend personally, says, I think the streams you've done on Ascended Art have been pretty awesome. I agree with you. Yeah, I love hanging out at Ascended Art. It's one of the places I send this stream when we're done. And thank you, Lil Chad. I love hanging out with you too. So yeah, that's his channel, by the way, Ascended Art. He's good.
Yeah.
Lots of experience. All right, so we got those. Oh no, we got to get this one. So a mother finds a venomous snake in her 3-year-old's underwear drawer. That's not good.
Well, see, I thought the headline was that it was in her underwear drawer.
Nope, I just said underwear drawer. I was very careful. There's the snake.
I can't identify what kind of snake that is. What do you think?
Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Let's try that again. So yeah, we'll try that again. So there's not a snake, and there is a snake, and it's not a rubber snake. It's a real snake.
That is a real snake.
And the dog's like,
and an unsuspecting doggy.
Yeah.
Poor doggo has no
And
idea
he's
that death
sneaking
waits
out.
above.
Look at him go.
Oh yeah, yep. And now the freak out begins.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, it's a real snake. I'm like, yeah, it's a real snake. So anyway, yeah. So they called in the snake hunter. This was in Australia, of course. They called in the snake hunter. They showed a, and they showed up, and the 5 foot eastern brown snake that was in her 3-year-old son's underwear drawer was successfully removed, and apparently it hid inside some clothes the mother had brought in from the clothesline the previous day. So that's how it got in the house.
This reminds me of lyrics that I enjoyed in a younger time. Oh, if you don't mind me asking, what's this poisonous cobra doing in my underwear drawer? Sometimes I get to thinking, you don't love me
Love me
anymore.
anymore. I knew that was coming. Well done. Ah, Pro, you're great. All right, one more story, and I already skipped past it, so I let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. The deputy rescues a bobcat in Florida. That's right. Look at that big kitty. He's
You know, I
so
knew there
cute.
were Florida panthers, but I didn't know. And those are usually, I mean, those are very limited to the Everglades. They don't really come even into Central Florida. Unfortunately, cut off by the interstate. But I didn't realize there were bobcats in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. No, there are, and there's a lot of wildlife. In fact, okay. So
That's
here's
why
a
the
cool.
solar panels, by the way, annoy me so much in Florida because they've cut off the wildlife corridors with these stupid solar farms that the
Oh, you and I
corporations
had
then
that
declare.
conversation.
Oh, it
Yeah,
makes me so mad.
we
So
had that
ridiculously mad.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we talked about it after we were done recording the thing.
Saving the planet by destroying the wildlife.
Yeah, it's dumb. Hey, we're supposed to protect these wetlands, so let's cut off the access to these wetlands.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, look, one really cool thing for those of you, if you ever go to Florida, the Central Florida area, and you spending time around the theme parks and all that, go out to the coast, please. Go down A1A and head for NASA. NASA actually has a building dedicated to the wildlife preserve that surrounds that whole area. Bet you didn't know it was there.
So we're
And
talking
they
Cape Canaveral then?
Cape Canaveral, yeah,
I didn't know that there was a wildlife
yeah,
preserve area around Cape Canaveral. Maybe
it
I did.
surrounds
I've forgotten if I
it.
knew that.
It surrounds it, and the great thing is they have a wildlife area there, like a whole history of Florida area. They it's like like a separate museum, like right in the dead center of everything. And it's so informative, and you see all these animals that are there, the protected birds that are in the area, all the other stuff. They literally have just amazing protected habitats there. If you get a chance, visit Cape Canaveral, and look, if you're going to go on a cruise, because a lot of them go out of Canaveral, Port of Canaveral, in Cocoa Beach, go check that out because it's the best 6 to 8 hours you can spend in a day. Very educational, and it has a lot of I it reminds me a lot of what Epcot used to be with edutainment, right? You were educated and entertained at the same time. It's really cool. Anyway, so this sheriff's deputy, sorry, went off on a tangent. He went out on patrol and found an injured wild animal, a bobcat, and so he loaded it into his vehicle and took it to the precinct with him, and then took it to the Blue Pearl Animal Hospital, and the bobcat is expected to make a full recovery.
Very
Amazing, right?
cool. Go Bobcat. Go Bobcat.
Yeah, I think they're beautiful, right? And obviously, I mean, this thing could really wreck this guy's day, but it seems like I'm not going to wreck this guy's day. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm the only time I've seen a bobcat in the wild, I was hiking in the mountains of North Carolina with a friend,
Oh wow.
and the bobcat was off in a ravine far from us, and we could see it, but it didn't see us, and very very far off. They're actually they're extremely hard to find out in the wild.
They're
They're
timid. They're timid.
kind of like foxes. They hear you way before you ever have an inkling
Yeah.
that they're there.
Oh boy, did I tell you that we have three foxes that are literally living around our property?
Well, you haven't
So
you have not domesticated those foxes, have you?
no, they love
Okay.
it. They love exploring the backyard and they hunt. All the
Yeah.
things
Are
out
they
here.
red foxes by any chance? What kind of foxes are they?
They look reddish. Here's the problem. I only see them on the video camera system we have for the
Yeah.
security perimeter. Yeah, but they set them all off. I mean, it's like it goes ding 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 around the house.
Yeah,
It's like okay,
foxes are such cool animals. I actually, this is sort of sad. I actually ran over a fox one time, and I'm not choked up, folks. I just had to clear my throat for a moment. But
I'm
there
choked
was
up.
no option. It literally, it was like a kamikaze fox. It ran out of the forest and straight under my vehicle. But I felt awful
Oh,
because
it's sickening.
yeah,
Sickening.
they're beautiful animals and they're so intelligent. And
They're really bright. And Valiant Renegade says Red Fox. Red Fox was funny. Oh
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Valiant, for being here. Valiant, you're going to get on one of these. Thanks for showing up. So
You
now
should
that you know
have him
when the show
sometime.
is,
Absolutely.
I can't wait to have you on this interview show.
He'll be here to promote his outdoor channel, which I think he's working
I
on.
have to tell you, I'm so looking forward to that. I wanted to do like a sportsman's channel with
Yeah.
somebody else. I was like, well, I can do the the scuba diving, the free diving, the snorkeling. I can do all the boat sports. But this dude, he goes out and fishes. He might hunt a little. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm not sure.
he's a fishy guy.
He's pretty fishy.
I'm not even sure he uses flip flops.
Really?
Don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't get that feeling.
When I get that feeling, I want. Can't say that on the stream. All
That's
right,
right.
everybody. Thanks for
Moving
being here.
on.
Moving on. Moving on. All right, let's get rid of the
Moving right
share.
along. Da, da, da,
Chug a
da, da,
lug,
da.
chug a lug. But loose and fancy. Wow, we're old. All right. Anyway, we got one more super chat to get to, and then we will move on to the main topics of the day. Let's check it
Culture, you
out.
be careful with that 3-letter word. That is something that nobody who ever did it liked it.
Okay. Garfield's Bizarre
OLD.
Adventure for
Careful.
another $10. Thank you very much. This is a profitable stream right now. I might be able to buy pizza. In your opinion, what is the best MCU film, and which one is the worst? Ooh, wow. That used to be an easy question to answer. At least the worst one. I don't know. What do you think, Pro? Tell me what you think.
So on the best, it's actually pretty tough. I think in terms of making people happy, Spider-Man: No Way Home made people extremely happy. So if I'm judging it that way, then it's the best. With Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one not far behind.
Yeah.
In terms of what is the best quality film, maybe Civil War. And in terms of which is the worst, well, I think that's much easier, and that's Eternals.
I think the best film, not to make people happy, would be Captain America: The First Avenger, which was the title of the film. I think as far as making people happy was the first Avengers film.
That definitely made people happy,
Yeah.
especially when the Hulk grabbed hold of Loki and
Smashed him around.
yeah,
That's so
acted more
great.
like Zangief.
And then what did he say? Puny God. It's fantastic. And I really did enjoy the end where Hulk yells Tony Stark back to life.
But the worst, what is it?
Ugh. Probably the original Hulk.
By the way, Culture, did you see?
That was the Banner one I'm talking about.
And maybe you're gonna, yeah. Well, that's not good. I don't know. Most people wouldn't even say that's MCU at this point. I don't know, but
It was under the Paramount brand. Came out after
Yep.
Iron Man.
I'll grant it. I just don't think many people now associate it because it's been so long. But did you see that? Man, I don't even know how to say this on your stream. I'm going to be very careful. How about this? Did you see that there was a scene which is now available, but which was
Yeah.
cut from the Marvels, in which it
Oh,
deals with same-sex relationships and it deals with someone who is not of age?
Yeah. I really hope Yellow
What were
Flash
they
talks.
thinking?
I know Yellow Flash is probably going to talk about Echo, and I am there for that. I love doing that, and I love modding on the channel when he's doing interesting subjects like that. But I really want him to talk about that deleted scene.
What in the world were they thinking? They've even got the background music.
You already know what they were thinking, dude.
It's insane. I mean, that is absolutely insane that went in the script. The amount of trouble they would have got into. And she's Muslim.
I don't want to get into that.
I know.
This kind.
I know.
You know how upset I get about stuff like that. So,
well, I mean, I can't believe they like. I can see it being in a first draft script from some moron, but past that, That it
Well,
actually was they actually
it went
shot it?
and
That they
it went
actually did the music
and it
behind
went to
it?
post, and it went to post.
Insanity!
Yep, 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 and the fact that it's finished enough that they can release the deleted scene. That's bad.
It's
Thank you for
amazing.
that, Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Wow. Zion42 says for $9.99. Thank you. I'm going to say it properly. For $10. Yeah, I appreciate it, my friend says. Blackwater Wildlife Drive on Merritt Island. Thank you. Next to Canaveral is fantastic. One of my absolute favorite places, alligators, roseate spoonbills, ospreys, and eagles, and all the rest. Yeah, the eagles are amazing, guys. Very therapeutical indeed. It's also, I tell you, one of the people in the chat who's a great wildlife photographer probably uses that place to go there quite often. That would be our good friend Scott Westbrook. So, yeah, wonderful wildlife photography. Can't wait to see more of it. All right. Thank you, Zion. Thank you, Garfield. And thank you, all the rest of you. Let's move on to the main subject of the day. And once again, for all of you that are funding today's show, thank you. I will enjoy a beautiful pizza. All right. You ready, Pro?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Here we go. All right, Pro, we are to today's topics, otherwise known as the news stories of the day. And you know what? I cheated.
How did you cheat? What did you
I
do? Did you seek out a magic 8 ball to help you with these?
No, I sought out a magic website to help me out with these. You might be familiar with this and with the editor in chief, who I think is probably one of the greatest news people of the modern era. I do. And I
I
think
have a
you
feeling I know where we're going.
and I think you may have already talked about some of these stories, but we didn't get to talk about it because I wasn't able to join you yesterday. So let's talk about some of this stuff. All right, let's start here. Rumor: Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's new Jedi Order film, starring Daisy Ridley, does not have a script. What?
And the author there, John F. Trent, I agree, Culture. When we were able to pick up John as the editor in chief of that Park Place, I feel like we picked up literally the very best entertainment journalist on the planet, and I mean that.
You stole them. You stole them. Anyway, so John writes that a new rumor alleges that Stephen Knight, who was tapped to write a script for Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's new Jedi Order film starring Daisy Ridley as Rey, has not completed his script yet. Okay, I believe this is probably true, but at the same time, I know for a fact, and I think you do too, that there were 2 drafts written. Now, what were those drafts? Probably, if not coverage, treatments. What do you think?
So what my sources say, and I think it's important that when there is differing information out there, we cover it, whether it's on that Park Place or what have you.
Mhm.
Um, my sources don't completely align with this.
Right.
So what my sources say is that there was a Lindelof script that was rejected, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
I believe that's true because I believe that Lindelof will be credited with this
Story
movie.
by. He'll get a story by or
Right, and so
yeah.
and I think already we've seen the accrediting. So I think that's probably accurate. I'm not saying that I always trust my sources 100%. I'm always skeptical. But when you see that it looks like that credit has already been applied, that seems to be there's veracity to it.
Right.
Now, the second point then is that okay, well, what about Stephen Knight? And the issue I have here is Stephen Knight's been working on this since before the WGA strike.
Right.
Stephen Knight, he's got a contract. He's receiving his money, period.
Yep.
Now, do I believe that Stephen Knight has received a contract been given the opportunity to work on a major Star Wars film and that he has done nothing. Because that's what I would have to believe if I believe there's no script at all. So I don't believe that. What I do believe is that you're right. I think there have been 2 drafts, and I think both have been rejected. And therefore, I think there is no script because and now let me move into something that's even more speculative, okay?
Okay.
Here's why I think there's no script. I think they looked at we're coming back with a Ray movie. I think they looked at market analysis. I think they looked at risk assessment. I think they looked at what is the probability that this does well. And I think
Yeah.
that they came away from that after 2 scripts and said, we have to strap Ray to a popular character.
Right.
And I think the only popular character they can strap Ray to at this point is Baby Yoda. But they have to clear out the Mandalorian story to get Baby Yoda with Ray because he has to live to get to Ray or else there's no suspense. And I think they had a plan to do that up until all of the strikes. And that threw off their production schedules with the Mandalorian where that was no longer happening. Now, I don't think that they could limit it down to a cameo because they have to know that the only reason people went to watch Ray in the sequel trilogy was because they were actually going to look to see what happened to Luke. Even the last film, even Rise of Palpatine, folks were going to see was there some way that they redeemed Luke, and they didn't. And so I don't think that number one, I think that a Ray movie will have the success at the box office less than the Marvels. I think that that character, but not Daisy Ridley. I think Daisy Ridley is lovely, but I think that that character is less beloved than Captain Marvel. At least, I mean, I think she's even more uh, boring and mundane, and has less personality than Captain Marvel, and that's really saying something. But that's what I think. I don't. I agree that there's no script. I don't agree that there's never been a script.
Well, and what's really funny is if you read what uh, Jason Ward, who I trust, he's very consistent with his information on making Star Wars.
He's knocked it out of the park several times now.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll say it this way, and what he said, I'm not saying there never was a script. I'm not saying anything. He kind of backed it up. So
Yep.
I believe he's right because again, you and I both heard probably from very different sources that there've been a couple of scripts. So, but I don't know if there were scripts. It's quite possible it could have just been treatments. They could have just been, a coverage.
It's hard to believe you would pay people that much just for treatments.
Well, I mean, okay, so this is a dirty secret. Most executives only read a a coverage page, a
Yep.
summary. That's what they do. That's it. They don't actually read the script. They have their readers read the script, and that's the biggest problem in Hollywood right now. Is the readers that they have in their office are terrible, and they're also politically motivated. So that's
The
how we.
exception to that culture,
Mhm.
why I think this one's different is because this is a franchise that is in absolute
Oh, it's in trouble.
danger of utter failure, like
Yeah.
critical collapse. I think it's already there, but the executives might not. They're going to handle the return to the box office after a 7-year hiatus, at least, with
7.
far more supervision than would typically be given to a movie. Because here's the other thing: I don't see a way that you can make a Star Wars film for less than $175 million. Now, unless you send it to Toho, they can make it for 5, and it'll look better than anything that Lucasfilm can do.
What? You know what?
You know,
Get the dude that just did Godzilla -1, and you have a hit
I think he's the greatest director on planet Earth.
right
He's the
now.
best director right now.
Right now.
Period.
Yeah, yeah. I can't argue with you. I wouldn't argue with you because I agree with you. I'm like, get this guy work because let me tell you this. Not only was he the writer and the director, he prevised every shot so that he spent no money. I mean,
Right.
that just doesn't happen. It just
Well,
doesn't happen.
he made a film for 1/15th of Wish. So let that sink in.
Wait a minute.
Wish, the animated film, he made it for one. He made Godzilla
Wish
-1
Wish
for
was
1/15th.
Well, was it, we know for a fact that it was less than the budget that people thought it was, which was
Right.
15 million.
Right.
He
It came in
he
at
thinks
12, I
he
believe. Wish
yeah
was 250.
I think it was higher than that, but it's fine. We'll
Well,
know. We'll know.
that may be the case. Film
Yeah.
threat, film threat's what I'm basing
Yeah.
that off of.
No,
Alan Ing has talked with animators who said it was 250.
easily. Yeah, easily, and that's before promotion,
Right,
A&P.
no marketing
Yeah.
involved there. We're just talking about production.
Ads and print, no. Yeah, no. In fact,
And Wish
you
looked
know
like it was AI generated in places.
yeah,
You know,
this is the one thing that I think that Valiant and I, can agree on. Disney
the
over
one
the
thing, the
course
only thing. Everything else, you guys are completely at odds.
he's my friend, we agree on almost everything. Would you stop it?
Oh, sorry,
Anyway,
sorry.
no, I think we're closer to, I think he's saying about 1.6 billion in the red. I think it's higher than that now. I
You're
think
talking
they're
about for Disney for 2023.
yeah, I think it's higher than that. I think we'll
Even
find
if
out.
you the most, so we checked this out
Mm,
2 weeks ago.
yeah.
If you give Disney the benefit of the doubt every single time, if you give them every opportunity to make the most money and spend the least, they
Well,
still lost 1.3 billion. Like, and
but
that's ludicrously kind.
that is being incredibly liberal. I mean, just
Right.
like with because I'm telling you right now that according to me, just conservatively, it would be 1.6 at a minimum.
Right,
I
and
think it's
I'm with you, but I'm saying if you're talking to the trades or if you're talking to someone who doesn't believe you, you can literally sit down with them and say, "Listen, if I assume the most gracious number possible for Disney, if everything that we know is best case scenario for the mouse,
mhm,
they still lost 1.3.
yeah,
And the reality is they didn't roll sixes every time. It's probably 1.6 to 1.8.
yeah, yeah. They're yeah. In D&D parlance, on a 20-sided dice, they did not roll 20s.
No, no, no.
They probably fumbled at least 4 or 5 times. It was
And
bad.
dice should probably be taken away from the mouse.
You realize they had to leave Elemental. Elemental was the longest serving film in theaters for Disney. They had to leave it in there for almost 120 days, almost 4 full months to get that thing to eke anywhere close to breaking even, and it's still well behind.
Well,
It's
think about it
it's
this way, culture. Did
behind 100,000,000.
you remember the plethora, or for our Canadian fans out there, the plethora? I like plethora better. The plethora of articles that were telling us that Elemental was a-okay because it turned out to be a streaming darling and that made it all right. Do you remember all that?
I do.
Did that save the jobs at Pixar?
No, and look,
No joy in people losing their jobs.
I feel so bad, um, for the folks that were still at Pixar that are losing their jobs because of some very poor management decisions.
On the day that Soul hits
Dropped
theaters,
on theaters, yeah.
you talk about a gut punch. But I feel sorry for the people out there who drink the drive-by Kool-Aid
Mhm.
because they never see this coming. It's completely out of the blue to them that suddenly Pixar is cutting jobs. Cognitive dissonance, they don't understand it, and it's because they don't watch channels such as yours and mine. Because
I think
for months, we say, "There's a problem here.
I
Disney's
think
lost confidence in Pixar."
well, they've lost they no, they've destroyed their companies, what they've done. They don't have
Yes.
to lose co they don't have to lose they're in it doesn't matter what
Well,
studio it is, bro.
it's like having a teenage driver, and you tell them to turn right when they should turn left, and then when they crash into the fence, you lose confidence in their abilities. I mean,
Uh,
you sent them in that path. That's Disney. But the elites of Disney, they get to stand off away from it, and
well,
they get to smirk and hold their nose as if they're not the ones who sent it into a free fall, a spiral.
I hear you.
And then think about this too, Lassiter, right?
Uh-huh.
So you drive Lassiter away, you lose creativity completely, and all safeguards are gone. And so we were talking about Alan Ing was on That Park Place Live, and he was talking about, well, they actually did have some real problems with Lassiter, according to the people he's talked to. Lassiter actually did have some behavioral issues, and I said, well, if that is true, his value is still such that if you can find a way to keep Jimmy Fallon, if NBC can do that, and put people around Jimmy Fallon despite his vices, and others are the same, I would think that there's almost no amount of money that would be prohibitive for me if I'm somebody leading Disney to have around John Lasseter to make sure he stays out of trouble in order to have him shepherding my content, considering the value he was for the company.
Yeah, no. Oh, this is such a rough subject to talk about. But we do have a relative. It was right in this segment. We're going to do this super chat because it speaks to it. Not only that, I get pizza toppings, but Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for $10 says, "Hey, culture gets
Square pepperonis, maybe.
there. You go. Get some toppings for your pizza. How do you think they will depict Ray in her new film? Will she be an almighty Mary Sue again, or will they give her an actual character flaw?" Wow, pro, you're take a shot.
I think she'll make men feel uncomfortable in the
Oh,
movie, but not in the audience because there won't be any. You can't make men feel uncomfortable if they're not in the theater with you.
oh, yeah, very true. Wow, my friend.
I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to Disney Plus.
I don't think it's gonna get made.
I think they're kind of stuck. It would be such a it would be such humiliation, and Bob Iger's never going to leave. So it would be such humiliation to Disney to have brought out Daisy Ridley, who is not Patty Jenkins. You go to the average person on the street and say Patty Jenkins, they don't know who Patty Jenkins is. You go to the average person on the street and say Daisy Ridley, many of them will know, oh yeah, that's the Ray chick. They would be utterly humiliated
And
to not make the Ray movie.
and
But
they'll probably say
they'll
it
put it
just
on
like
Disney
that,
Plus.
bro.
Yeah,
That's the Ray chick.
yeah, it is the Ray chick. But Disney Plus, listen, they've put themselves in
Mm,
such a corner. It's the only thing I think they can do. Here's the caveat. In a world, I sound like the trailer guy. In a
in a
world,
world.
in a world where the Mandalorian movie is highly successful. If that were to happen, if the Mandalorian movie makes $1 billion, which by the way, it's a repurposed season finale now.
Yeah.
Talk about increasing the odds it fails. Oh my gosh. So it's up there with Bob's Burgers movie at this point. But um, if that does $1 billion,
Mhm.
then the Ray movie has a chance to come out in theaters. But otherwise, I just don't know how are the actuaries going to sit down and say, well, we're going to lose 400 million on this, but overall, I think it's a great idea. I don't think so.
Do you think they should beg George to come in and float something?
George, George isn't going to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I don't
George
think
is
so.
George is going to be like, no, you all, you know, that's like going into George's pool house and throwing feces on the wall and asking him to clean it. No, you get in there and fix that. You did this. You made this mess.
Little Chad says Disney will just book gift card sales against those losses.
Well, little Chad, you're not far off because guess what? They're giving away Inside Out 2 tickets for
Um,
people who go see
what
Soul
is
Inside or Soul Turning Red and Luca. Giving away
okay?
free tickets through Fandango.
First of all, Soul you could probably get through as an audience member. Luca you could probably get through as an audience member. Some people liked it, but Turning Red is a waste of anybody's time.
The only people who liked Turning Red were 11-year-olds and Paul Chato. That's it.
Well, yeah. Sorry,
And
Paul. Yeah.
well, there are days when Paul takes particular medications that make him more amicable to that
Oh
kind of thing.
boy! All right. Taking
No,
shots at my
Paul,
friend.
no, we love
He,
Paul, and if
he
Paul
knows.
wasn't a comedian, I wouldn't say that, but
He
Paul
was
Paul
he
can take
was
a
a
joke.
great interview on this channel, let me tell you. And
Paul is
he is
awesome. I wanna
he
get him on and do, like, a life, autobiography kind of interview. He
oh,
has had such amazing experiences.
he is the greatest storyteller, and when he came in, he introduced himself kinda like what you did, and he went a completely different direction with it, gave us some background and stuff that nobody had ever heard before. It was so lovely. Um, and he's just so accommodating and very Canadian. He's of that generation of Canadians that are just so kind.
Mhm.
He kills you with his Canadian kindness.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got our friend Nikki D here. What's up? Good to see you. Nikki D for $2 says thoughts on the Top Gun 3 announcement. Pro.
Um, I wish that I could say that Top Gun 3 would be as great as Top Gun Maverick, but there's never a guarantee, and the length of time between the 2 movies helped. The
Mm,
quality of the sequel carried it once the initial explosion happened. Can the 3rd one recapture that kind of an audience, and can it recapture the kind of quality that we saw? Uh, I I'm hopeful, and, we need more movies like that, and I just really, I'm hoping that they stay away from anything divisive because the second one was so good because it tuned in to universal timeless, paternal themes,
Right.
and I don't want them to ruin that. So
Right.
I'm I love that they're doing it. I just want them to protect it too.
How about we get to see the final run of Maverick's career as chief of the air group or something like running the base for Top Gun, running Top Gun. What do you think about that?
I think I think that I don't want to ever see the end of Maverick.
Yeah.
So I would rather not have the last hurrah.
Mm.
That feels to me like the last Rocky movie.
But he hand, but
I
he but he hands it over to Goose's kid.
you know, to me, Maverick is eternally young despite Cruise's age,
Fair
and
enough.
I would like to hang on to that. And maybe that is
I like that
maybe
thinking.
that's me being stingy, and wanting that for my own self-absorbed reasons. But I love the eternal youthfulness of Maverick.
What amazes me is that Cruz is coming up on a big number and he's still doing great. Garfield's
Oh
Bizarre
no,
Adventures. Thank
real
you.
quick, culture.
Oh,
Don't let that
sorry.
go.
Okay.
Is there any other actor that could have done what Tom Cruise did with Maverick? Is there any
Yep.
other actor that could have that distance between the original and the sequel, and it's still the same character?
Oh, wait. Shatner.
Okay, I'll go with Shatner.
Yep. Yep. I
I'm
think
trying to
that's
think. Is there anyone else? Maybe Eddie Murphy can do that. We'll find out.
I'm going to tell you. Well, no.
I'm not. I don't expect it to go
No,
well either.
not from what I've been hearing. Anyway,
I wish we could do
Garfield.
the Austin Powers with Mike Myers. I'd go for that.
Mikey, I don't know if he can do it again. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says, "Gotta go. See you. Thanks for being here, and thank you for your amazing contributions tonight, and buying me a pizza and toppings. I appreciate it. You're
Next
amazing."
time, lasagna.
Lasagna. By the way, they make the place that I get the pizza. By the way, make homemade pizza here at the house. But when we go to get the pizza, they do great Mediterranean food, great Italian food. It's incredible. They are like chef's kiss. Good.
Have you tried the Joe Rogan pizza that he and Elon Musk had on their interview? Have you ever tried it?
No,
The double pineapple, double anchovy.
you realize I would eat none of those things. First of all, for those of you in the audience that don't know, anchovy's a fish. They put a fish on a pizza.
Well,
Not
I
a good.
tried it because I just thought, well, you know, I mean, I've done anchovy and I've done pineapple, but I
Mm.
never together. That was the strangest pizza. It is. It is really sweet and it is really salty at simultaneous. Bizarre pizza.
Thank you, Garfield. We appreciate you.
Worth it one time.
Yeah, look, it's been scientifically proven by Tom that a pizza goes bad the moment that pineapple hits it. It starts to decay immediately,
Well,
turning.
listen, for everybody in the audience, I participated in one of those uh, Will It Pizza things for a charity.
Mm.
And so we had to eat these different slices of pizza and then vote. And they had bizarre toppings. Some of them were actually good toppings. I'm going to
Pro,
tell
have
you
you
though,
heard this? Is this real?
John Woo was going to direct that Metroid movie, and it was actually planned for the early 2000s.
Did not know that.
I'll have to look into that. Yeah, but
Huh.
that I would have loved to have seen it. But of all the toppings that you can ever put on a pizza, I'm here to tell you, folks, never put a Skittle, the little candy, taste the rainbow. Don't put that on a pizza because there's some weird chemical reaction that occurs with the Skittles candy shell and the cheese on the pizza, and it gives it this really funky metallic taste, and it is terrible. So people say,
You
whether or not pineapple should go on pizza. I'm here to tell you, it's the Skittles. Keep those away.
you know the shellac that are on candies like that is made out of ground up bugs.
All right, and folks, we will just say that Skittles are out completely now. Don't eat Skittles on anything. Period. None. Never.
By the way, Pro, we have our Kylo Ren. If they really want to bring him back, but they can't get Adam Driver, Tim. Tim looks just like Kylo Ren.
Well,
He's amazing.
they got to find a way to get the aging Raylos back. So how are they going to do it?
I don't know. Put a sparkly vampire in it.
Well, you
I,
heard that first script was the pregnant
I don't.
Ray with
I
the Force
yeah.
Ghost.
I yeah. I yeah.
I
I'm
heard
like,
that when that came my way, I thought, you know what? Actually, that is so perfect that I have to report on it because it accomplishes exactly what Lucasfilm would say. We can't get Adam Driver. How are we going to get the Raylos? She'll be pregnant with his Force Ghost baby. Perfect.
No,
No, not perfect for us, but perfect for
no.
the weirdo Raylos. You bet they'd eat that up.
Yeah. All
All
right. Well,
12 of them.
oh, now, yeah. Anyway, we unfortunately we're gonna get through some more supers, then we're gonna wind down with the chat and everything else. And wow, our good friend Jonas just sent a member chat, so we'll get to that in a second. Once again, thank you, Garfield, for being here. I know you probably are already gone, but we appreciate you. Jason Webster for an Australian $10, amazing, says PSA: due to the continuing Disney apocalypse, to maintain public safety and sanity, refrain from visiting Disney theme parks and watching Disney film releases and Disney Plus until further notice.
That is all.
I love this. That's brilliant. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Our good friend, the man from Canada. He has no name, but he has a YouTube channel. Check him out. It's Space Dave 2000. That's right. He's seriously a Disney World All-Star in August 17 to 25. Casino Meetup, Pro, Jonas, Mexican Iron Man. Let's make Disney great again. Walt Wright. Indeed. I am a proud member of the Walt Wright. I am a card-carrying member of the Walt Wright. You know what? I tell you what, since I am going to have to find a way to get to Florida during this time frame regardless, this sounds good to me. What do you think, bro? August 17th to
The
25th?
only issue I take with it is, my gosh, is it hot August 17th through
Oh,
25th?
shush it. What are you?
Oh,
What are you, Bob Iger? It's too hot to go to our theme parks. What the? Are you kidding me? Way to sell it, Bob.
that's why all of a sudden the people aren't going. They all together, all at once, society realized that Florida is hot in the summer.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't. How? What if I press X in the chat to doubt? How about that? I don't think that's true. I almost said a bad word. I don't say bad words on my channel except on Sunday nights because I figure I've been, I've done enough repenting.
That's right. After repenting, you get a little loosey goosey with the tongue.
I got a little safe. Hey, I was really good today.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
Oh,
All right. Let's get to we got some more of these. Hey, Pro, I am terrible.
baby.
At this. Oh, whole lot of shaking going on. But no, I'm down for this. I hope you guys are too. And of course, my good friend and channel member, Jonas J. Canville. He's been here for 10 months. He says, thank you, Jonas. I just finished an edit of One Piece Season 1 for the kids. Guys, this could have been a 4-quadrant show if they changed like a dozen words. Yeah, I know. You and I are of the same mind on this. I think like if they could just dial it back a little, I think it would have been
here's
fine.
what I think the streamers need to learn.
Mhm.
I know this is new, but the technology is there. When the show starts, select your preferred rating.
Mm.
Now, think about that. Any show out there, select your preferred rating, and then it'll play. Now, some shows, you'd have to gray out G for some shows. You want to watch South Park with every word bleeped out and all the jiggly bits censored? Cool. Pick that rating. You want to watch One Piece and you want it to be even more adult oriented than what it is? Go for it. But let the user right at the beginning pick their rating. And depending on the age of the account, you're going to have different options.
I think that would work great.
I'm here all day if you streaming companies would like more tips. Don't worry.
Mars Monkey Max is like, every time you say my name, you say, dang it. I don't think I did.
Dang it.
But thanks for being here. One Piece is fine. Well, for some young folks, might be
For the littles. Always think about what the littles might say to the grandparent that gets them out of that primo Christmas gift for the next year.
Yeah, and that's one of the. Yeah, let me tell you.
You're competing with other grandkids if there's other siblings. You gotta really show off. Best manners. Don't tell grandma she smells like mothballs. Yeah. Don't do it.
Yes, yeah, that's not good. That's something Cartman would say. But no, but you're right, Pro. If the streamers could actually do that, I think they'd be far better off. I mean, and you could actually put that setting permanently on like whatever it was, the
I
service
bet
that
it
you
would
had.
double. I bet it would double the
You,
audience for South Park.
it would
Yep.
truly, yeah,
Because so many of the conservatives agree with South Park,
yeah. And you
but
know
a
what?
significant portion of the conservatives are not going to watch South Park with some of the stuff that's in it.
And this is true. Abduleo is right. It's not meant for kids. It's targeted at teens. But we're talking about expanding your audience because the audience is
Right.
shrinking. I'm sorry, it just is.
Right. When you're not
Um,
making money, screw targeting and get everybody.
yeah, well, let me tell you, they really desperately need to
Look what
figure out.
Fortnite's doing. Fortnite has
Oh
half
yeah,
a billion players registered. They just added Lego Fortnite to take on
Mm.
Minecraft, and they've
we
like
we have
this
some
game is so big.
stories,
1 out of 3 people in the Western world is playing Fortnite right now. It's the
and we
biggest entertainment story right now in January, other than Star Wars.
and we have some stories that are definitely going to feed into that you're going to want to take a look at that Park Place and also on some of our channels. So there is a big movement happening with Fortnite that, well, Epic Games that speaks volumes as to how you're supposed to go about running a business. I think you would agree, Pro.
I think you and I should be running across the rolling hills of the Fortnite world, lock on pistols in hand, maybe ballistic shields ready, and we'll weather the storm together, you and I.
Sounds good. I'm terrible, but sounds good. And
Maybe we need to
I
do that. I'll offer all the members the link and just let them join a Fortnite game with us and see who wins.
it wouldn't be me, but I think that'd be a lot of fun. We could also do that for like a Mario Kart thing, kind of Yahtzee for who can be in there.
I agree.
Roshan
Totally
Bud
agree.
get
I'll,
in.
I'll play Smash Brothers if we're doing that. I want a
Oh, that'll
Smash
be.
Brothers tournament.
Hey, sign me up, kids.
Sonic and Bowser. That's who I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, sure. All right, sorry. I'm easily distracted. I'm like a cat. You just shine a laser at the ground and
Snipe.
yeah, indeed. Carlos. Sorry. I can't. I saw him say something there. Oh, there it is. Ba-bum. Okay. That's the great thing. Oh, by the way, Pro, it's one of the features I didn't tell you about. You can actually search the chat for somebody's name if you know you missed something, and it'll pull it up so that you can star it.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
handy dandy.
Yeah, super duper. Spectacular.
StreamYard, are you listening to that? Are you hearing us, StreamYard? Come on, StreamYard. Get your stuff together, StreamYard.
Well, if somebody I know really helps keep the channels flowing, really make sure that everything's cleaned out and ready to go for the next use. It's our good friend,
Mr.
Mr.
Buttcrack
Buttcrack
Media.
Media. That's right.
How did
By the
I
way,
know?
that I still need to borrow that commercial from you. I'd love to run that.
Do you need your pipes, your rotor? I don't remember how it goes
You
now.
know,
A 12-foot, 20-foot, 50-foot auger.
what I love is that the person doing the voice in there sounds like the accountant from Ghostbusters.
Well, actually, that was a purposeful impression. Yes, that is
Rick
what
Moranis.
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So good. He says for 14 months, hail culture and WDW Pro, and to all in the chat. Well, hail to you, Mr. Buttcrack Media. Good to see you.
Hail to you.
And there it is, the thing I wanted to make sure I didn't miss. Carlos Alfredo Lopez. What's going on, my friend? For 5 months of membership says, hail Culture Pro and chat. Thank you for a great, fun stream. Now,
Muchísimas gracias y divertido a ti también, Carlos.
we are not quite done.
Oh, lo siento
Because-
mucho.
Yeah, because
Discúlpame, culture or cultura.
Yeah, you know who does that all the time?
Who's that?
Our buddy Kabuto, Spencer.
Ah.
Spencer always calls me Cultura. So,
Cultura.
and I love hanging out with him. I miss that kid.
Spencer's cool.
Yeah, real quick. You need to share something that I told you to do a while ago, so that you can promote it because we are going to talk about you. Because we're
Would you like me to share my
yes, I would like you to
YouTube
share
channel or the website?
Share the website. Promote, because Jonas needs some money too.
Now, the issue here is going to be, folks, I have never shared something on this
EB Mode?
particular. Hang on now, wait a second.
Do you see the gear?
I'm going to try it, folks. Here we go. Share. Did it work? Did it work?
It did.
Hey-o.
Fantastic. On that
Here
note,
we have, let's take a look at our top stories today on thatparkplace.com.
Okay, we will.
Browser location you should have bookmarked, no doubt about it. Reacher season 2 premiere defeats the
Hey,
Lord of the Rings,
hey,
the Rings of
hey,
Power.
hey! Whoa, whoa, whoa! You! I didn't run the plug. I didn't run the thing. Just wait. Just
Sorry.
wait. Just
Sorry.
wait. I have to do this the right way.
I don't know how these things work. I
I'm
was new
OCD.
at it, okay?
I'm
I was
OCD.
eager.
I'm OCD. OCD. Don't mess with my CD. Yeah, it's bad. You do that. Whoops, wrong thing. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, why did I click the wrong thing?
After these messages,
I clicked the wrong thing.
We'll be right back.
All right, what I need to do. Ooh, the background's not going to work, but that's fine. No speaker. But
Can we do some impromptu commercials for you while we're doing this?
No, I got it. Hang on.
Does your beard look like crap compared to Culture Casino? Well, welcome to the club. Today we're offering for 75% off hair on your face. Be here. Chia Pet special.
Chia.
Check out Beard Brand Beards.
You know, you're doing a great job. And yeah. All right, we're gonna get to it. Here we go. Maybe. All right, we're off. We're running. We're gonna run it. Plug yourself.
Let's do it. Oh, geez, where's Mr. Buttcrack Media when you need him? Plug yourself. All right. Well, now it shows me that I'm sharing, but what's showing on my screen that's being shared is not being shared. Does it look good to you? Gremlins, I tell you. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Well, just know that if there it is. Okay. Well, you all can see this now. All right. So there, indeedly doodly, it is. This is thatparkplace.com, the website you should have bookmarked. If you don't be the last person on your street to do so. Reacher Season 2 premiere defeats the Lord of the Rings of Power. Season 1 debut dominates streaming charts. That's the headline. But also we've got Charmin O'Bachanoy's new Jedi Order film starring Daisy Ridley does not have a script. Seem to recall that one, as well as a spicy one. Jodie Foster admits television and her special relationships had negative effects on her son's learning, quote unquote, to be male. And well, look at that. Disneyland, Year of the Dragon. Dining options are incredible because, yes, there is spicy and unspicy news all available for you to keep you ahead of that culture curve. Everything, all the news that should be fun.
I just want to say thank you to the great WDW Pro for the incredible interview. I know the chat loved it. And obviously, Orsinis Aeros really loves it when you guys do the South Park voices. I agree. And I love Valiant Renegade, and I can't wait to get him out here. So do share out everything that Pro does and that they do over
That's
at
right, because sharing is caring.
That's
Oh,
right.
boy.
That's right. And I really do appreciate you guys do this and follow this stuff. It's not this park place. No, I wish. Look, I can
It's
tell
not
you.
even those park places. It's that park place.
That's right. And well, I'm going to tell you something there, my friend. That if they were to hire myself, Valiant Renegade, Mexican Iron Man, Pro. I mean, I can name a bunch of people that if they hired us to run the company in leadership positions, things would be back in order real quick.
Oh, geez. I bet we could fix it. It'd be better than raisins.
There you go. I think so. Better than raisins, indeed. Oh, yeah. The Doctor Who story today was great. The Capaldi one. You guys crushed it today. Well done.
Knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. And Abduleo, I have not seen this. I'm going to write it down and put it on my watch list.
So that is actually on my docket. I need to cover that soon.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to doing that. And who knows, maybe we'll join forces, Culture.
Sounds good. Always.
That's right.
On that note, thank you for being here, Pro. You are the best. I do appreciate it. And for those of you looking for a place to go, the Ascendant Art guys are up and running. And you will be automatically mailed over there as soon as I hit the end button.
But before you do, Culture, we've got a brand new gift coming in. Check it out.
Wow. Wow. Wait, can you hear this?
I can't, but I'll do what Tom does and say, I like turtles.
Okay, very good. Mr. Buttcrack Media gets 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you very much. And to all of you out there, I appreciate you. I hope
That's
everybody has an incredible weekend, and do check out and that Park Place. There's a lot of stories there. We didn't get to 4 of them, in fact, because we ran over.
We're long-winded, but we had fun.
We're going to get Pro back. We'll get Pro back here in the future real soon. And yeah, check out Ascendant Art, not Descendant Art. This is not, yeah.
Tell them it's a culture raid. Don't let them forget.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, they're funny guys. But once again, thank you to all of the people who took care of the stream today. Mr. Buttcrack Media, Jonas J. Campbell, Carlos Alfredo Lopez, Space Dave 2000, Jason Webster, Garfield's Bizarre Adventures, Nikki D, Zion 42, Space Dave 2000, Terry Scott, Is This Live, The Old Man Cometh, Scott Westbrook, Bishop Judas, and Story Man Jack. We'll see you next time, folks. Thank you.
Stay spiffy.